Good morning, and welcome home to Live Oak Unitarian Universalist Church. I'm Reverend Joanna, and my pronouns are she, her. Thank you for joining us. We who bring a teaching of hope, we who bring a saving message, who welcome all in our doors, Buddhist and Baha'i, atheists and Christians, straight, gay, lesbian, and bisexual, cisgender, transgender, non-binary, and intersex, all who are searching, seeking, looking for more meaning, more service, more love. All of us gathered here together. I would like to invite you right now to put your phone on the worship mode. That means it's not going to make any noise, but it's still on, and you are free to take pictures. You are free to send out messages, maybe even text someone with an invitation to join you here next week. Would you please rise now, either in body or in spirit, and join us in singing Come, Come, Whoever You Are, and remain standing for our chalice lighting.
Our chalice this morning is being lit by Rand Goss. This is a congregation bound not by creed but by covenant. May those in agreement affirm our church covenant now. We affirm, let me get the slide up. There we go. We affirm a caring community of and for all ages, seeking wisdom, doing service, and living with integrity.
In our diversity, our covenant holds us in unity as we celebrate our shared spiritual journey.
Good morning. My name is Diane, and my pronouns are she, her. One thing I particularly love about Live Oak is our seasonal rituals, like the one we're doing today, which we share with other UU churches all over the country and all over the world. I'd like to welcome any guests we have here today. Thank you for taking a chance to walk through our doors and join us for worship. If this is your first time here, please stop by the visitors table so we can meet you and answer any questions you might have. Next Sunday, January 12th, you have the opportunity to learn even more about Live Oak at our Exploring Membership class, which is hosted by Reverend Joanna and the membership team, held in the library after the Sunday service. This is a church buzzing 7 days a week. The definitive way to keep up with what's happening is through our weekly email newsletter. You can sign up for that at the visitor's desk. Live Oak has many ways for you to connect with our beloved community beyond Sunday. Opportunities are shared on our website and on our newsletter. One event happening this week is the Live Oak Meditation Group, which meets today at 12:30 in room 208. Here we are, the first Sunday of the new year. We're gathered on the edge, saddened by our losses, cherishing our joys, aware of our failures, mindful of days gone by. We're gathered here on the cusp, eager to begin anew, promising to make changes, anticipating tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. Let us all join together in a celebration of life, knowing that our lives are big enough for good and bad, endings and beginnings. Let us all worship together.
Each Sunday, when we gather as a congregation, we bring our joys and our sorrows with us into this room. And when we ask for remembrance or celebration or thoughts, we make of this sanctuary a sacred circle. And we have some joys and sorrows today, and it looks like it is all joys. Amy Von Vliet shares my first granddaughter was born December 23rd, and she is perfect. The McCulloughs shared that they celebrated 55 years of marriage on January 3rd. Who knew it would be such a short time? And Daria, or Aria, her stage name, was nominated for Best Pop in the Austin Chronicle, their Best of Music, for last year's achievements, and you can vote for her on the website. And Val Thomas shares, I ended the first semester with all A's and got onto my school's dance team. For all of these joys and sorrows and all the ones that are unspoken in our hearts, we bear witness with our care and concern. Please join me in singing.
Please rise as you are willing and able for hymn number 396, I Know This Rose Will Open.
We're going to try this as a round because we have a lot of people here today. Good morning. So let's have this side be our leaders and we'll have this side be our followers because we have some strong singers over here. So follow me. Will
Our reading today is Our Sacred Fire by Elizabeth Harding. People have always known that fire was special. Long, long ago, before people made matches or candles or even made houses, people knew that fire was special. There was a great fire in the sky, the sun, which made the earth warm and made night into day. And there were smaller fires that people made, fires that cooked their food and kept them warm and brought them light. People honored the fires because fire was special. It was more than human. Fire has power, it can create and it can destroy. It can bring light and it can burn. Fire can be wonderful and it can be terrible. We have to be careful with fire. And so people thought that fire was something sacred and holy. Some people even worshiped fire and said it was a deity, like a goddess or a god. Other people said fire wasn't actually the deity, just meant to show that the deity was there. No matter what they believed, people all over the world gave fire a special place in their religions. They had fire in their homes, of course, to cook food and keep warm, and they also had sacred fires in their temples. They set sacred lamps on their altars. They lit sacred bonfires outside on the hilltops and in the groves. They placed sacred torches near the graves of those who died. We still do this today. In Washington, D.C., near the tomb of the unknown soldier, burns an eternal flame that never goes out. In churches at Christmas time, many Christians light 4 candles on an Advent wreath. During the 8 days of Hanukkah, Jews light 8 candles of the menorah. And at Diwali, Hindus set small oil lamps all around the house. When Unitarian Universalists gather, we light a chalice. This is our sacred fire.
Winners never quit, quitters never win. Never give in, never give up, never give out. Goonies never say die. Seems like there are lots and lots of ways that our culture gives us the message of never quitting, of continuing on no matter what. And like all sayings, there is some wisdom in that. Right? If we stop every time we hit a bump, every time we have a failure, then we're never going to be able to learn from that and build onto it, build something better. But sometimes there is a time and a place for doing exactly that, for quitting, so that something else can happen. And sometimes persevering, making that our number one value, is going to be a barrier to discernment and to making different and better choices as we receive new information. During the Vietnam War, folk singer Pete Seeger had this song, Knee Deep in the Big Muddy. And in it, he was using a not very veiled allegory of a commander who was telling his troops to go forward into a swamp, the Big Muddy. First, they were ankle deep in the Big Muddy. Then they were knee deep in the Big Muddy, waist deep, neck deep. And in his song, there are some that turned around, but the commander didn't, to his detriment. There are times when we need to say, I'm going to let this go. And that can even be dreams. And that's a hard thing. There are no hard and fast rules for knowing when perseverance, persistence is called for, and when it's time to let something go, to let it end, to let that season stop, so that a new season can begin. Are there things in your life that it's time to let go of? It could be habits, and I'm not going to even say bad habits or good habits. I find that often that's not really useful when we feel that we have to look at something in our life and say, okay, is this good or is this bad? Sometimes it absolutely is, and we know that, but a lot of times it's a little bit fuzzier. I think that it's helpful to look at what we do in terms of currency. We have a limited amount of time, energy, and money. There are a limited amount of hours in our days, and all of us have a limited amount of days. It is not something for forever, right? How are we going to spend that currency? And I think that when we look at things, again, not having to stop and go, is this a good habit, is this a bad habit, but simply say, you know what, I have a limited amount of time, and here is what I want to do, so I'm going to give up this so that I can spend my currency here. That's where we can actually own our choices. Me, I am absolutely a night owl and have been all my life. This past year, though, I decided to give that up because I discovered, those of you who are morning people, don't sit there looking smug. This comes The minister looks pointedly at her morning lark spouse. He even wakes up happy. Can you imagine? You morning people, I know how y'all are. But what I discovered when I gave up those late night hours is that it also meant I could give up sleeping in the morning. It gave me my mornings back, and for what I wanted and what I wanted to do, that was currency that I was willing to choose. Again, not bad, not good, simply how I want to spend that currency. So what are the things that you're ready to let go of? It could be something like something that you do, but it could also be something in your mind or in your heart. I think that often one of the, I don't know if I want to say best, let's say most effective things that we can give up is our fantasy that the past could have been different. And we ruminate on that. We ruminate on if only. We ruminate on what could have been, what might have been. But here's the thing. The past is the past. I know the theoretical physicist will argue with me on this, but in terms of, for most of us, our life experiences, right now we do not have an ability to change the past. Change is powerful. Change is a powerful force, but it belongs entirely in the present and in the future. It has nothing to do in the past. Sure, looking back can be helpful, especially if it means that there are things that we can learn. But the goal is to learn those lessons and then move on and change all of the things that we have the possibility of changing. I find that one of the best ways for being able to move on when we are stuck is through ritual. And we do it in many ways here in this church. And we also can do it in different ways in our own lives. At a church that I served before this, I had a member who had been diagnosed with degenerative Parkinson's. And she had her vision of what the future was going to be, and it wasn't going to happen. In order for her to be able to move on, we did a ritual where she could say goodbye to that vision and grieve it. Because with every change comes loss, even changes that we want. Moving on to a new job, we can experience loss for what we're leaving behind, and it's important to take a moment and grieve that. So today we have some rituals to do just that, and I'm going to be leading you through each of these. This is our turn of the year service, and the service is a vehicle to help us move with intentionality through the liminal space of the old year that has ended and the new year that is beginning. So this morning involves writing. So if you are near someone who might struggle to write, you might offer some assistance. Or if there are parents with more than one small child, that ratio can make it hard to keep up. Ask the mom of four. So you can offer your assistance there too. This morning also involves fire, and so we have a fire blanket close at hand as a precautionary gesture. Adults who are here with children, please provide companionship and guidance when we get to that part of the service that involves flame. Pay attention to sleeves and scarves and long hair. Most importantly, do I have everyone's attention? Do not stand behind the person who is coming up to the chalice, because here's the thing, for those of you, and don't feel that you have to participate, like if you're kind of phobic about fire, that's okay, you can give it to me or whatever, but you're going to kind of feel the heat, and so your instinct is actually right to do this. The problem is if someone is standing right behind you. Okay, you get the picture. We all understand this part, right? So much of this morning has been planned out. However, inherent in a service that involves audience participation, there are bound to be issues that arise. Your patience, curiosity, and if necessary, assistance will be much appreciated. We have come to the end of, for most of us, a roller coaster year. A year full of a lot of hopes, a year full of a lot of disappointments. But we are moving into a new year. I realize that for many of us, we are carrying the fear that this next year is going to be off the charts in terms of stress. But it's also a year that provides more opportunities to practice courage and compassion, to grow resilience and resistance, and to find out where our limitations are and grow them in service of bending the moral arc of the universe towards justice. And so today we will begin, first thing, by looking outward and offering a blessing for others. So there is a basket at the start of each row, and in it 2 piles of paper. You're going to pass the basket, but what I want you to take out is not the white paper yet. Take out one of the colored pieces of paper. And there should be pins in the basket. There are also pins in the seat back in front of you. As we listen to the music, here's what you're going to do with that colored paper. So colored paper first. As we listen to the music, you're going to write down a blessing for another person, some type of encouragement that you offer. It could be one word, it could be a phrase, it could be a sentence. Don't make it personal, because these are going to be combined up here and they're going to be pulled out randomly. So go ahead and write down your blessing. Okay, and now if my ushers will come forward, we're going to gather up those words of blessing so you can just pass them back down the row. Remember the color of the paper that you used. And here's some baskets if y'all need any. And you will dump them in here. Okay, in just a minute, you're going to be invited to come up to the 3 stations that we have. If you'll go ahead and put the slide up for this. Let me explain a little bit what each is. So, at the first, we have our fire communion. At this station, we are going to be burning pieces of special white flash paper that contain a brief description, word, or a symbol that represents something that you wish to release. This is our opportunity to shift, to see in new ways. It is also the chance, rather than clinging to what is familiar, to practice letting it go. Rather than thinking about it as making a new slate for the new year, we can consider it, as the Reverend Claudia Naylor describes, leaving behind last year's baggage, not by denying facts or events, but by subtracting the emotional content so that we can get the lesson, get going, and get growing again. So now, would you please pass down your row the white flash paper, and if we need any more, we have some extra up here. On a piece of the flash paper, write a word or a symbol to represent what you would commit to the fire. And don't pass it back, you're going to hold on to it. You may want to let go of or purify a regret or an attitude, a way of interacting in the world that no longer serves you, or a dream that you didn't realize you were holding on to, that you're ready to let go of. And let me affirm that we are rational people here who highly prize reason. We recognize that there is no magic at work here. If you write the name of a political leader that you don't like, or anything like that, or a past event, or a loss that has already happened, you cannot and will not make it disappear. But if you are seeking to change your relationship to that thing that you have written down, wanting to not be burdened by its presence in your life, seeking to shift the emotional energy that you bring to it, this ritual just might add to the momentum of what you are already bringing. So perhaps you might entertain these questions and write your answer. What parts of your life, what things, ideas, people, ways of living have become obstacles to becoming the person you want to be, the person you need to be? What's holding you back? What's getting in the way of you living as fully as you would like to? What might you burn away? What might you relinquish? So this is a special paper that is used by magicians that will flame up and disappear with no ash. You can dip it into the flame and flick your hand up. I'm going to do mine to show you real quick here. It does help to twist it in the middle. Here's a way rather than fold it. You like that? Again, since not all of us are comfortable with fire, if you would like me to hold the paper for you, I can do so. These words are for you from the Reverend Victoria Weinstein. May what you have released here be forever gone from your spirit and cease to trouble you. May you be relieved and renewed, ever mindful that love is always more powerful than fear, and that compassion is the key to freedom from resentment. After that, we will move to the weeping well. Let me give you a little demonstration here. Then we're going to move to the weeping well, and you'll see that we have these stones here. So, most of the messages that we hear in our culture encourages us to push away the pain, to deny or to minimize it, or to immediately turn it into some life lesson that makes us wiser or stronger. But it's important for our physical health, our emotional health, and our spiritual health to acknowledge the pain in our lives, the loss, the disappointments, the betrayals, the hurts, to give pain its due, that we might move through it to find what is on the other side. So at this station, our task is to honor our pain, and to do so by adding a stone to our weeping well. And as you do so, you may do it silently. You may want to whisper the pain that you are holding, that you are naming and honoring. You may want to hold that stone tight in your fist or close to your chest as you bring attention to the task of giving that pain a name. And as each of us adds our stone, the well will overflow, weeping for the pain in our lives and in our world. And after that, we move to the final station. All those blessings that this community has generated are now in this basket. Do you remember the color that yours was on? Don't choose that color. I mean, the odds of you picking your own are small, but you can help with that. And then when you get back to your seat, read the blessing silently to yourself. Okay, let's go ahead. Thank you for demonstrating. Are you left-handed? Are you left-handed? Okay. Left-handed. I learned last year. I burn this last square of paper for any lingering resentments against others or ourselves that we wish to be free from. I add this last stone for all of the pain that goes unrecognized, all the harm not stopped, and for those not with us today, but who would want us to honor their pain. And I take this last blessing, and we'll share it later as a blessing that is meant for all of us. May we be open and ready with the lessons, the joys, and yes, even the challenges that will come our way with the new year. We have received the greatest blessing of all. We are alive today to see this new year and to experience the journey with our fellow villagers of the community. I invite you now to join me in a period of prayer and reflection. Make yourself a little bit more comfortable. Remove any distractions from your lap. And if you're comfortable doing so, close your eyes so that you can go further deep. Spirit of life and love, which we call by many different names or no name, but which calls each of us beloved. We greet the year with gratitude, with fortitude, with courage, with renewed commitment to be of service to others and to allow love to be the guiding principle in all that we do. Natasha Bedingfield, in her song Unwritten, talks about the fact that the future is unwritten and it can be changed. Who will you be a year from now? May we have the courage to make the choices to help us to become that person. May we be of service to each other, a source of encouragement to help strengthen the steps that we take. And may we do all these things in love. And let's hold that for a moment in silence. Amen, and blessed be.
We are the tradition of the Free Church. Our church and our community outreach are supported not from an outside source, but from within. We invite you to make a financial contribution to help sustain this church's vital work, knowing that every gift, large and small, is appreciated and carefully used in service to our mission. The QR code or text information for donations is available at the back of the seat pocket. If you'd like to donate by credit card, Apple, or Google Pay, someone from stewardship can assist you near the kitchen after service. Every week, we share what's given with an organization whose works reflect our own UU values. This month, we're giving to Hill Country Community Ministries, and here to tell us more is Thaisa Holloway.
Well, we really had planned to have somebody from Hill Country Community Ministries come and talk, and here she is, Tiff.
Yeah, Corbin checks.
You have those?
I do not have this one. Thank you.
That's what I want.
Thank you. I will do it. Thanks, John. Yeah, Corbin Sherbin was going to be here. He is your Fresh Food for All distribution, and I had been out of town. My name is Thaisa Holloway, and I'm the executive director for Hill Country Community Ministry. So I apologize because got a text like 5 minutes till 10, and his car was towed. So pray over him because he's obviously not having a good day. But we were trying to get a hold of everybody, so I appreciate y'all. Let me just kind of come in at last minute. But I first of all want to say thank you guys so much. Donna and John came to me back in 2017. And we had just kicked off a program called Fresh Food for All. And the whole purpose is that our food pantry is located in Leander, Texas. And that's a good jaunt from up here. And one of the challenges is that people have transportation issues. But the other thing is that we wanted to get past the whole dry beans and rice. We wanted to provide healthy options because when you eat healthier, you become healthier, right? Spiritually, mentally, physically. And so you guys kicked off our second distribution site, and now we have 11, by the way. And so, yes. But, and I also want to say thank you so much, too, because this year you guys the last few months took on 2 distributions, and it's a lot of work. I mean, that produce, how many of you have served at your Fresh Food for All distribution? Thank you, guys. It's a lot of work, isn't it? And John's latest numbers is your fresh food distribution has served over 279, the pounds is 279,000 pounds of fresh produce. You've served 11,470 families, and it was over 35,000 individuals. And that's our total Fresh Food for All. But Live Oak has distributed almost 32,000 pounds of fresh produce this year. You've served over 1,300 families, and you've served almost 4,000 individuals for fresh produce. So thank you guys so much. So thank you. And again, we only get to do this. I mean, we have a very tiny staff, but we get to do this because of our church partners, our people that get to serve, and the volunteers. So thank you all so much.
Yeah. And it's not just food distribution, handing people stuff. It's so rewarding to see their reaction. And it's a two-way street to see how important it is. But it's not just food, it takes money. So let's share the plate.
As the ushers come forward to receive the offering, I invite you to say with me these words. We are building beloved community with our labor and our treasure. With gratitude, we receive the offering. May it help us to fulfill our mission in the world.
First of all, I want to say how exciting, Thaisa, it was to look over and see you here. For those of you who do not know this woman, you want to. And she absolutely is a miracle worker with all of the things that she does with Hill Country Community Ministries. She is one of the most inspiring people who I know, and she dreams so big. And I think that you have the ability to squeeze blood out of a turnip, because I know you're doing it all with duct tape and bubble gum. So y'all have that, feel free to add to what you just contributed so that Thaisa and the board can buy more bubble gum with which to make miracles happen. And if you get a chance to talk to her, absolutely do. Ask her about her vision of what she wants to do in Leander and what she wants to build, because I'm telling you, you will be inspired as well. And at the start of the year, this is the time for being inspired. The blessing that was sent to all of us is pain-free body and mind. May we all have that this year. And may we not forget that we do have opportunity this year. We don't know what is going to happen, and I think that often we go to the negative, we go to our fears, but there is also great opportunity in this moment for us to live out our values guided by love. May you be blessed.
I'm Chris Jarman. I serve as your Director of Lifespan Faith Development, and this is your invitation to join us for Faith Development Hour today. We have a lot of different things going on. From 11:15 to 12:45 in room 105, we have our Adult Faith Development Workshop, Joy for Justice, From Surviving to Thriving, through the legislative session. Join AJ to learn ways not only to survive but thrive while doing justice work. And if you're burnt out or worried you will be this season, this is the workshop for you. Also, in room 205 upstairs, I will be hosting a parent and caregiver meeting where we are looking to re-envision and look at what we're doing in children's RE and where we want to go from here. And we're going to brainstorm and just kick up a fun list of things to do. I can't wait. The kids, sign your kid if you're going to one of our faith development programs. You can sign your kids in with our child care team. They're here till 12:45, and the kids will be making time capsules that we will be opening at the fire communion next year. And there's always questions on the table to help you engage in this service on a deeper level today. And our teens are in room 209. So teens are 12 and up, and they are going to be working on the signage. Next week, we are starting our Vitas Robitus social action project, where we will be making and installing an installation of T-shirts of all those affected in the area by gun violence. And it's an entire community, whole church social action that will be done in the fellowship hall, and our teens today are making the signage with our directions and how we're going to do it so that we all know what to do next week. So I invite all our teens 12 and up to room 209 on the second floor with their advisors. So I hope that you will get connected in this warm and welcoming community as we empower dreams, encourage growth, and embrace joy, because there's always a place for you here.
I invite you to rise for our closing hymn, number 1028, The Fire of Commitment, and remain standing for the extinguishing of our chalice.
I would say that we might take out our teal hymnals, just because this one, as the young people say, cooks, so it moves a little quickly. From the light of days remembered burns a beacon bright and clear, guiding hands and hearts and spirits From the stories of our living rings a song both brave and free, calling pilgrims still to redeem the life of liberty. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, when we live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin. From the dreams of youthful vision comes a new prophetic voice, which demands deeper justice built by our courageous force. When the fire of commitment sets our mind and soul ablaze, when our hunger and our passion meet to call us on our way, and I live with deep assurance of the flame that burns within, then our promise finds fulfillment and our future can begin.
Ms. Rengos. Let us say these words to each other. We extinguish the flame here, that it might glow gently in our hearts. May it light your path as you leave this place. May it guide your way until we are together again. It has been a gift to be here today. Thank you to today's home team who provided hospitality and worship and tech leadership, Dawn, Luann, Rosella, and Nancy. Let's continue that hospitality by spending the next 5 minutes talking with someone we don't know. Members, be sure and introduce yourselves to any first-time visitors we have. They're the ones with the handwritten name tags. And show them where the visitors' table and, of course, the coffee are. And may we all know the blessings of fellowship.